This program is part of the Cosmic Potato Podcast Network. For more shows like this, visit our website at cosmicpotato.com.
Hey, listen!
All right, you guys, podcast time.
Make it so.
It's me, Mario!
I'm Batman. Strong am I with the Force.
Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?
You're a wizard, Harry.
And welcome to World War G episode 167. I'm Troy.
I'm AJ.
And I'm Colton, and I'm back.
Yay!
Welcome back.
Boys are back in town. So really quick, we talked about a couple episodes ago. It's kind of been an ongoing thing that I have not seen Firefly.
And I am sorely disappointed in you.
Yes, and then I'm sorely disappointed with you because you have not seen any really Star Trek. So, the original plan was I would pick 13 of my favorite episodes from The Next Generation.
Because there's 13 Firefly episodes, that makes sense, yeah.
And then I would watch Firefly. Then I was on Cosmic Potato earlier this week, and I was talking to Sean, and he suggested, why don't I watch all 13 episodes of Firefly plus Serenity, and then you watch all 15 episodes of Star Trek Discovery.
Sounds like an even trade.
Because Star Trek Discovery, it's a Star Trek TV show for pretty much non-Trek fans. You know, it helps you kind of bridge that gap.
You don't have to keep selling me on it, Troy. I'm going to watch it.
I'm just saying.
This is for the listeners.
Yeah, it's for the listeners.
Okay. All right, I'll give it a try.
All right, and then we'll check back after we finish, kind of give our thoughts and reviews on it and what we think. So, all right.
I like it.
So this episode, we're also shaking things up a little bit. We're going to start with our reviews first, and then go from there. So we'll start with Death Wish.
Okay, I actually just saw this like 4 hours ago. It was a new
So it's
showing.
still fresh.
It's still fresh in my mind, even though I'm
like
the worst
a bullet
at
to
that.
the
Like, things
brain.
they just fall out, and like I need to start taking notes during the movies, like with like a book light and a notepad or something, just so that I can.
That'd be awesome. I'm
write
sure everybody
down
else would
things that I
appreciate that.
Anyways, yeah. So I saw Death Wish, and I knew nothing about this movie going into it. I just saw Bruce Willis was in it, and I read the summary on the Flickster app that I have. And I was like, "This sounds good. Let's go see that." And
It's a remake.
It is a remake.
It is an old movie. Yeah.
Oh, cool. I didn't know that. Anyways, I just
They haven't had an original idea in Hollywood in some time.
yeah, everything's a reboot. Anyway, so the premise of this movie is about a surgeon. He's just a doctor in Chicago. And
Bruce Willis is the surgeon?
Yeah, he's the surgeon. Anyways, his family his house, there's people break in, try to rob him when he's away. He's at the hospital. And they shoot his wife and his daughter. And I won't say what happened to them, but he basically goes on this vigilante streak. So he wants to address crime that's happening in the city on his own because he realizes that the cops aren't doing anything about it and nothing's getting done. And so it's really cool because you see him making progress in his own investigations about what happened to his family and who it was that did it, as well as, the police's their progress on the investigation as well. And so
into his wife and kids
into
murder?
that specific.
Okay. I wasn't sure if they were investigating trying to find him.
Yeah, no. They kind of throughout the movie, this video pops up of this guy in a hood who's going around and addressing the crime going against all these people as the vigilante, and they call him the Grim Reaper. So they're trying to catch that Grim Reaper guy as well, which is him, and also solve the crime that happened to his family. It was really good. I thought they were going to go into more of like a political stance on like gun violence and stuff like that, but it didn't really dive into it. Like it thought that it was going to go I thought at the beginning of the movie it was going to go anti-gun, but then it kind of went the opposite of that a little bit.
Pro-gun.
Yeah.
Everybody buy a gun.
But
They should have vending machines with guns in it.
it is an extremely graphic movie. It's rated R.
For good reason.
The deaths are definitely gruesome, like brains spilling out type gruesome. But it was a really good movie, and I think out of let's say 5 Glocks, I would give it like a 3.5. It's
All
pretty
right.
good.
Okay. Now I feel like Troy and I have to see it to kind of actually
Get your guys' opinion.
compare.
I've seen bits and pieces of it over this weekend, and it looked pretty good. I do think it's funny that Bruce Willis is basically dressed up exactly the same as he was in Unbreakable.
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. Like, he looks like this. I mean, he is obviously the same person.
Well, and he doesn't look like he's aged either.
No. Hasn't looked like he's aged since like 1982. Looks the same. All right. I have no idea what this is, but apparently you guys have both seen it. The Day We First Met.
When was that, Colton?
It was quite a while.
I remember it like it was yesterday.
I'll let you talk about this one since I've been talking already.
So, now I'm going to have to pull up... I was going to pull up the cast on this one. But The Day We First Met is a show on Netflix that was actually, like... I wasn't sure. It just kind of pops up. You know how, like, Netflix says, hey, you'll probably like this. And I'm like, hey, I'm bored. All right.
And they plug their own content because this is a Netflix movie.
Yeah, Netflix original. Which it seems like they just... I don't know. They're kind of pulling a Blumhouse where everything falls under a Netflix original if they purchase it.
Yeah.
But anyways, this movie, you've got a love interest where this boy, he's constantly chasing after this girl, but he doesn't get the girl.
He gets friend zoned.
Yes, big time.
On the first day.
Yeah. And then she eventually falls in love with another guy. And he kind of wants to, or is hoping to rewrite history. So he goes to the bar that he plays the piano at and goes into the photo booth and kind of makes a wish and gets sent back. And you'd think it'd be a little cheesy, you know, like one of those Disney Channel movies.
Oh, this is the one with Miles Teller.
Yeah, from Workaholics.
Oh, okay, yeah. Oh, no, not Miles Teller. What's his name?
Oh, something Devine. Adam Devine.
Yes.
Yes. So then he goes, he goes back and tries to rewrite history and keeps trying to rewrite it. Do you remember the movie Happy Death Day? It's a little similar. It's kind of similar to that, or down that same vein.
Except it affects, because this is 3 years later that he gets in this phone booth for meeting her. So he's been her best friend for 3 years.
And he's secretively in love with her. Yeah,
and they're about to get married. The girl that he's in love with and the guy that she met the day after she met the first guy, Adam, which he goes, his name's Noah in this movie. But yeah, so he goes back in time, and then he changes something about the day that they first met, and then he wakes up and
3 years down the road,
present time, and he sees the changes.
The aftermath or the ramifications that happened from what he changed 3 years ago.
It's like the butterfly effect.
Right.
And no, it was really pretty funny and clever, and you're kind of not unsure what exactly is going to happen. You know, how is this going to impact his life 3 years down the road? You're not exactly sure. Do you remember the movie? This is like, I'm making quite a few movie references, but what was it, Bedazzled?
Yes.
Where they're constantly switching up. He wishes for something, and you think it's going to go one way, and then his wish ends up doing something completely different and getting screwed over.
The last good thing Brendan Fraser ever did.
Wait, The Mummy?
That was after.
That was after?
Mummy. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But before The Mummy 3. So, again, the last good thing Brendan Fraser ever did.
That's very true. The only other one that I really liked was Blast from the Past.
Yeah.
He was pretty good in that. But anyways, with this movie, it's just kind of funny because it switches it up. He's just like, okay, I'm going to work really hard at work. And then 3 years down the road, he's like CEO of the company. And yeah, but the other stuff, happens. I don't know. We don't want to give too much away, right?
Yeah, definitely not. But there is a twist at the end. It is surprising.
Yeah. It was really good.
Okay.
Hopefully I don't spoil that twist by saying there's a twist.
Well, there usually is in those kind of, time travel type.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. They can't just go down one road and, like, that's the way it is.
Yeah.
And, by the numbers. But out of 5, what would you say?
Photo booths?
Yeah.
I'd stick with the review or the rating that I gave Death Wish. I'd say 3.5.
Yeah, I'm right there at 3. I'd say so too.
All right.
It was kind of a fun romantic
it's
comedy.
a good movie. It's one of those movies that doesn't try too hard to make you laugh. There's no forced jokes. It's all just well timed and like quick, clever, witty jokes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
that actually worked. That aren't like too forced, like you were saying. Yeah.
All right. Cool.
The other one, jumping from Netflix over to Hulu. I just recently started watching this one. I've only watched the first 2 episodes, but it's been pretty dang good. It's called 911. Have you guys heard anything about this at all, or
I have
familiar
not.
with it?
You mean the number itself, or
Yes.
Whatever.
Quick, Troy. What's the number for 911?
CPR. I can't even spell it.
Yeah, right. No, 911 it follows the story of not only the operator or the woman behind the number 9, who gets the phone calls, but it also follows the story of this fire department in, I want to say, New York, California or Florida, somewhere, I don't know, somewhere tropical.
Yeah,
And it could
Washington now, so you can do all 4 corners.
Maybe if we could,
Maine or Nevada.
I'm not exactly 100% sure where, but it's kind of cool because it follows the firefighters. It also follows the this woman police officer and her kind of life, and just how they all kind of work similar together. The only problem with it that I'm seeing so far is each one of these episodes is really pretty action-packed, and I don't know how they're going to be able to keep up with the story. You know what I mean? Some of these movies, some of these doctor drama movies, I think that they suffer from going too big too quickly.
Okay.
Just because what'll happen is they come up with all these unique rare diseases and these different cases and stuff, and then they've got no material after that, and then they're just
going to start watching episodes of House and be like, okay, let's put that in there.
Yeah, pretty much. But no, this one's so far it's been pretty decent. I don't know what I would rate it out of just yet, but I just thought I'd make that recommendation if you've got nothing else to watch.
So it's kind of an ongoing series then?
It is, yeah. Okay. So they dropped the whole first season. There's 9 episodes, but yeah.
So does it follow the same 911 operator, or
it does? Okay. Correct. Yeah.
I thought maybe they switched it up and changed.
The actress, I'm trying to think of what her name is. She's from American Horror Story. She did that whole series, or at least the first season.
The mom?
The mom, yeah.
Oh. So an older actress.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I was thinking someone in their 20s, but
yeah, I don't remember her name. All right,
there you have it.
All right, cool. That's weird. That's the first time that we've done reviews where I have seen nothing that we've talked about.
You've seen nothing. You get nothing.
And I actually saw something that you guys didn't see. This is madness.
Man, this is weird. Up is down, left is right. Man, we're turning this episode up on its head.
All right. Well, let's take a break. When we come back, what's not changed is we're going to do the news of the week, the geek news of the week news. So we'll be back right after this.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Thanks, Troy. Hi, everybody. This is Sean Ray.
And John Irons.
And we're the hosts of Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast. We're a show that has a little bit of everything.
Yeah, we talk about movies and TV and cartoons, entertainment news, and every show has a different theme.
That's right. We might discuss anything from our favorite bad movies to who would win in a fight between C-3PO and the Tin Man from The Wizard of Oz.
Yeah. That was episode 41, a classic. You can download that episode and all of our other episodes on iTunes and Stitcher. We're on Podcast Addict and, of course, on our website, cosmicpotato.com.
It's special guests and movie news and geeky nerddom and nerdy geekery and lightsabers and Time Lords and Ninja Turtles all the way down. So check out Cosmic Potato, the Super Fan Talk podcast.
And we're back.
So, Chris Hemsworth is in early talks with Sony to reboot Men in Black. Starting in 1997, with Will Smith and Tommy Lee Jones, Sony successfully found a new franchise to play with. Secret agents working to protect the planet from intergalactic threats gave Men in Black a great mixture of humor and action. The movie spawned 2 sequels, and the latter of which came in 2012. Men in Black 3 wasn't the best, but, it wasn't all that great. It was pretty cool.
Yeah.
They had there was original talks that the idea was to cross between MIB over with 21 Jump Street.
We talked about that.
But it kind of fizzled out pretty quickly since Sony left developers they just dropped the franchise entirely. Although this to me seems like it has a lot more potential with him, because what they could do is what it's looking like it's going to do is it's going to take place over in England. So it's kind of similar to what they did with the sequel of Kingsman, right? Where you've got like these different agencies all over the world that are kind of like have a similar goal, but they just have a different different weapons and a different way of doing things, right? So if you've got him over there, I don't know, I think it could potentially work.
Yeah, and you need the star power, and he's pretty hot right now.
Yeah, after doing, Thor, and it'll be shortly after Infinity War. Plus, he needs something else to jump directly into, because a lot of the times, I'm afraid that some of these actors and actresses, they're going to be typecast, and they're not going to really do well after the aftermath of Infinity War. But at least if he's quickly jumping into something else. Yeah,
especially with someone like him, with Chris Hemsworth, who really... The only really big thing he's done is Thor. Being in the MCU.
That was the first time I saw him.
Yeah.
I mean, he did The Heart of the Sea, which was pretty decent. Did you see that one?
No, I know, but I'm talking about what he's really known for.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Like, I mean, Robert Downey Jr., he'll be fine.
Right.
After he leaves Iron Man, he'll be fine. Because he's established.
So who do you think's going to really suffer? Mark Ruffalo? Scarlett Johansson. I think she'll be alright. She'll do like some indie projects and get notoriety that way.
Because she did a lot of stuff before the MCU.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I don't like Elizabeth Olsen, like I said, Chris Hemsworth,
Mark Ruffalo, you think he'll do alright?
Maybe Mark Ruffalo.
I don't know. He's in a lot of serious movies.
That's true, he is.
Mm-hmm.
And he's been in a couple Academy Award nominated movies in the past.
Maybe Vision, the guy who plays Vision.
Paul Bettany.
Because he's usually more in voice acting roles lately.
Yeah.
The last big thing that I remember him from was A Knight's Tale, but that was like years and years ago, right?
Yeah, Chris Evans, I think, might have a rough time.
Yeah?
Speaking of which, I did see a film with him called Gifted that came out last year.
That was pretty decent, huh?
Yeah, that was really good.
The mom, man, I can stand her.
Yeah.
She just kept butting in where she didn't need to.
I mean, I'm not going to, full out review it, but if you haven't seen it, you go see it. They actually have a good child actress,
right? Yeah.
Which, you saw I, Tonya, right?
Uh-huh.
That's the same little girl that played a young Tonya Harding. That was her.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even notice
Same
that.
actress, yeah. Which I also saw that. I could talk about that too.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't matter. All right. So we know that Marvel has their whole thing planned out. They are like
It's set in stone.
it's set. Yeah,
It's been set for years and
Yes.
years. Yeah.
Well, they've announced dates as far up as 2023.
Jeez.
So, Disney and Marvel are the cool friend you loved to hate in high school because they had their schedule so perfectly organized and sorted that they knew what they'd be doing for Halloween in half a decade. Now the studios have released an absolute boatload of upcoming premiere dates. Who the heck wrote this? Anyway. Premiere dates for movies that haven't even gotten far enough in production to warrant an announcement. That's what happens when you run the two most successful film franchises of all time while putting out an almost monopolized crop of quality animated movies. In fact, the only film with a new release date that has a name in the announcement is the announcement that Nicky Caro's live-action Mulan will hit theaters on March 27th, 2020, pushing it back 2 years later than initially expected. The rest, who knows? But that doesn't mean we can't speculate about them. There are so many live-action movies coming from Disney proper that it's a bit tricky to assume anything, but that every animated favorite you had as a kid will be pushed into a CGI-heavy real-world environment. So here's the Disney animated dates. Okay. October 4th, 2019, February 14th, 2020, May 29th, 2020, August 9th, or October 9th, 2020, December 23rd, 2020, February 12th, 2021, May 28th, 2021, and then on and on and on all the way to February 17th, 2023. That's their animated features.
Oh, geez.
Or...
Animated to live action.
Yes. The Marvel dates are a bit easier to swallow since the groundwork has been laid with greater eye for the future. So, here are the dates for future Marvel films. May 1st, 2020, July 31st, 2020, November 6th, 2020, May 7th, 2021, July 30th, 2021, November 5th, 2021, February 18th, 2022, May 6th, 2022, and July 29th, 2022. So yeah, there you go. They don't even have titles or anything for them yet, but they have the dates set, and these are when they're coming out. So,
jeez. Okay, which is got to be. I mean, it's got to be nice at the same time for all these other people that are making films, because then they can be like, "Well, we're not going to plan it that week," you know, because they would just get crushed or overlooked or overshadowed.
Then you know that DC is just looking at that, going, "Crap."
Like we don't even know what we're going to have for lunch today. Yeah.
It's like, what's the next movie coming out? Like, I don't know.
What did really well? Let's have another Wonder Woman movie.
Yeah,
maybe we can do like hey, what about like Superman teaming up with,
Yeah.
Jeez.
Should we do like another Superman movie or something?
We haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Jeez. So, speaking of movies, The Shape of Water characters, let's see. How much proof do we need that we are currently living in a geek golden age? Here's all the proof that we need. Director Guillermo del Toro, latest film, The Shape of Water, a movie about an underwater humanoid monster who falls in love with a mute woman, is currently up for a whopping 13 nominations at this year's Academy Awards, which is going to be later this evening.
Yes.
Which Troy's like way stoked. He's actually trying to like push us out the door here.
Hurry, let's go.
Like, hurry, read quicker. Including Best Picture and Best Director. There was a time when the Academy Awards would have shied away from a film that was such a throwback to the sci-fi monster movies of the past, but now they are embracing it. Better late than never. If you're one of the millions of fans around the world who has embraced The Shape of Water as our best picture ever in modern cinematic fairy tale, then you'll definitely want to grab these new Funko Pops. The first wave will have 3 figures in total. The amphibian man, played by Doug Jones in the film, his romantic love interest, Elisa, played by Sally Hawkins, who's also nominated for Best Actress, And also Del Toro, which is pretty dang. That's pretty dang awesome. They actually
They made a Del Toro. That's
right?
funny.
Okay, which I mean, I've always thought the Funkos, they kind of look kind of strange and they're kind of campy with the big heads and the blacked out eyes. But for some reason, I seriously want to get these. Like, I think
I want that amphibian man. Yes,
right?
I really want that.
It looks pretty dang spot on, and plus he's kind of like it's cool that a lot of the times they just like have to stand on their own, but this one he's actually kind of suspended.
Yeah,
and he almost looks like he is like floating in the water. These ones aren't. They don't have a direct date just yet, but they're coming soon. And there's like so many other ones that are scheduled to do so.
Yeah, if you go down to like Entertain Mart down here and look at their Funko Pop,
they have
figures,
a whole wall.
Yeah, and it ranges from like not just superheroes. They have superheroes. They have anime. They have TV shows.
All these cult classic ones. Yeah. You know, you've got some of these like. I don't know, they have such a small following fan base, but it would be kind of crazy if you know, like when you start collecting stuff, if you had to collect them all. Can you imagine trying to collect all those?
You'd have to get a warehouse.
Yeah. I'm sure there's somebody out there, because that's the same thing that happened with like Beanie Babies, you know, and Pogs, and what were some of the other ones?
And the same as like Beanie Babies or Pogs. They're not going to be worth anything in the future. Go ahead and buy them and enjoy them and display them, collect them, all that stuff. But if you're looking to sell them 20 years down the road to send yourself to college, it ain't going to happen.
You don't think so?
No.
There's a couple of rare ones out there, but you just never know. Yeah.
So, I mean, same with like comic books and stuff like that. People think, you get an issue 1 of a certain comic book that it's going to take off and be worth millions someday. No. There's a reason that those 1930s comics are worth what they are, because they are rare.
Yeah.
And they started it all.
Yeah. And there's not a lot of them anymore. Most of them have been destroyed. So that's
what you need to do is just start. I've just come up with a great idea for a villain. What he does is he collects certain rare like things that like are mass produced, and then he goes around and starts arson like fires everywhere, burns down every other thing until he's the only one with anything left of value that he's collecting. And then he's like, "Oh wow, I've got the last one." And they're like, "Oh, I'll give you $1 million for it." So that's how he gets his money, because he's going about it like not by stealing money, but he's just right.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a pretty good idea.
Or it could be a guy that, you know, he wants to be like the ultimate collector, right? So he gets a job, let's say at a comic book distribution place, but he sabotages the line or something. So he has that perfect like minted one. Then he goes to another place that does like, you know, action figures or pop figures and does the same thing.
Yeah.
Sabotages the line a little bit, so he has the perfect one where all the rest are like defects. Or
aren't the defects sometimes worth more though?
Well, if all of them are defected, then no.
Oh,
but if you got that perfect one, then
I like this idea. And then like he takes it to an extreme and starts collecting people. You know, he's just like, wow, they.
You guys are literally describing the collector.
That's true. We are. Yeah. Dang, that's been done.
Oh, man. That's kind of like Troy when he thought he came up with an original idea for a comic book character.
When I thought I came up with Black Panther.
You did come up with... Troy came up with Black Panther. You heard it here first.
Well, I was a dumb kid, and I thought
this is a great idea.
I thought they had stolen my character from me.
And he'll be from this place called Wababa. Like, Wakanda, what?
I said my guy was white. He wasn't a black guy.
Racist.
Wait, so he was called Black Panther, though?
No, I didn't call him Black Panther. I just called him Panther.
Okay.
Panthers are black.
See, that's the thing. I'd never seen Black Panther.
No, Troy's just breaking the mold here.
I'd never seen Black Panther up at that point. So I created this guy that looked exactly like him almost, and called him Panther. And all of a sudden, I see like this Black Panther in like a Marvel comic, because I had sent that character to Marvel.
Yeah,
and I have like you've seen the
documented
letter
proof. Yeah,
that
Stan Lee signed it and said thanks for the idea. This is how I get all my ideas. He's like, thanks, kid, but we already came up with it 2 weeks ago. As he like draws out a little doodle and sends it back to you. This is our idea.
Yeah. Anyway,
he's like, but keep sending me more ideas.
Yeah.
Okay. The company that I used to work for. Okay, it was really funny. They had this thing where they're like, hey, we'll go ahead and give everybody a chance, all the employees, a chance to win an iPad. So submit your best ideas, and then we'll pick the very best of them, and we'll select one winner. I'm like, well, you just got like a couple thousand ideas from other people that I'm sure you're going to eventually implement, but you only have to pay for one thing, and give one prize. There's no like second or third prize place winners. There was just one winner.
And I'm sure at some point, people that work there had to sign like a contract, or part of the agreement was if you come up with any ideas, intellectual property that belongs to us.
Yeah. Shady.
Yeah. So it was the company you used to work for.
Yeah.
Financial institution.
Yeah.
That puts this country first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Not to name names.
Not to name names.
No.
All right. Let's take another break, and then when we come back, it's all Oscars all the time. Yeah. Should be fun.
After these messages, we'll be right back.
Yeah.
On the historic streets of Ogden, there are two kinds of people, readers and non-readers. Here's where you can find their stories.
Booked on 25th Street, located at 147 Historic 25th Street, Ogden, Utah, 84401.
Yeah, stop by and say hi to our friend Marcy. You can pick up a new or used book, or you can sell your own used books.
That's right, you can get 10% store credit on what they can sell the book for.
Stop in and say hi, or call them at 801-529-7720. You can find them on Facebook at facebook.com/bookedon25th, or you can email them at marcy@bookedon25th.com, or visit their website, bookedon25th.com.
Be sure to tell them that World War G sent you. Now back to the episode.
And we're back. So this time, now is when we have the list.
Now is the day of reckoning.
And since the Academy Awards are tonight, otherwise known as Troy's Super Bowl.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I've never seen him more excited. He's even got like an Oscars t-shirt on, an Oscars
got my face
foam finger.
Like, Oscars!
What time is it? Oscar time!
So I found this list. 8 Oscar nominations that were revoked.
Oh, man.
Which does not happen often, but it can happen. So, number 1, The Circus from 1928. At the very first Academy Awards ceremony in 1929, Charlie Chaplin was nominated for 4 awards for The Circus: Best Actor, Writer, Director, Comedy, and Outstanding Picture. Believing that Chaplin would sweep all 4 categories, the Academy revoked his individual nominations and instead presented him with a special honorary award for, quote, writing, acting, directing, and producing The Circus.
Oh,
so because they thought, that he might
the honor out of it.
Yeah, he might get them all. He's like, no, we're just going to give you this one special one.
This honorary, a participation ribbon.
Yeah. Thanks for all your hard work, making money and making this whole movie by yourself, practically.
Yeah. Well, which nowadays, you typically have that one standout film that just sweeps everything.
Yeah. So it'd be like them doing that to James Cameron for Titanic.
Right.
Or Guillermo del Toro for Shape of Water.
They're like, no, sorry, here, just take this, because you've been nominated too many times.
Yeah, we don't want you sweeping the whole thing. Number 2, Hondo from 1953. In 1954, the John Wayne Eastern Hondo was nominated for Best Story. The film was later disqualified when it was discovered that the script was based on a short story called The Gift of Cochise, and not an original work.
Oh, wow.
That one makes sense.
Yeah, that one does.
So are the Oscars only original movies? Is that what?
Well, because they have like nominations for like adapted screenplay plus original screenplay. So I think maybe back then it wasn't so.
They didn't
awesome,
have so many different categories.
Yeah.
So
Number 3, High Society. In 1957, writers Edward Burns and Elwood Ullman were nominated for Best Story for the musical comedy High Society, starring Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly. There were only one problem. Burns and Ullman didn't write the 1956 musical comedy starring Bing Crosby and Grace Kelly. They wrote the 1955 Bowery Boys comedy of the same name. The Academy confused the two movies and mistakenly nominated Burns and Ullman, who very graciously withdrew their names from the final ballot.
That's never happened before where they've mixed up awards. No, never.
No, yeah, that never happened. Yeah, I wouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
I'd be like, no, my name's staying on there. You nominated me, my name's staying on there.
Exactly. Like, they have to, like, finally arrest you, drag you out in handcuffs.
Number 4, Young Americans. The film Young Americans won the Academy Award for Best Documentary in 1969. However, a month after it received the Oscar, the award was revoked when it was discovered that the film had played in a theater in October of 1967. Ooh.
Oh, geez.
Making it ineligible for the 1968 Movie Awards season. The Oscar was given to the first runner-up, Journey into Self, instead. Young Americans is the only movie in Academy history to receive an Oscar, then have it taken away after the ceremony.
They were premature in their showing.
Mm-hmm.
You never want to have that.
No, never. Number 5, The Godfather. In 1973, Francis Ford Coppola's mob crime drama The Godfather was nominated for 9 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actor for Marlon Brando. Composer Nino Rota was also nominated for Best Original Dramatic Score, but the accolade was later revoked when the Academy learned that Rota used some of her own score from the 1958 Italian comedy Fortunella in The Godfather. 2 years later, Rota won an Academy Award for his work on The Godfather Part 2.
I think they just felt bad, and they're like, hey, sorry we had to do this to you. Like, here's this one. Well, it does seem, it's weird, but sometimes it does seem like if a person, Leonardo DiCaprio, for instance, you know, he should have won it so many other times, and then he gets nominated for one that, I mean, it was really good. The Revenant was great, but he'd done so many other things that I think it was like,
it was kind of a lame one to get nominated.
Yeah.
Like, or it's kind of like his turn.
He's like, really? You're giving me for this one when I've done all these other things?
Yeah. Same with like Martin Scorsese. They did the same thing with him when he finally won Best Director.
Yeah. It's like
did he really
for this one?
Yeah.
Like,
it was for The Departed.
Mm-hmm.
Like really, that one of all the movies he's done, Goodfellas included, that's the one he wins it for. Come on.
Yeah. All right.
Number 6, A Place in the World. Uruguay submitted A Place in the World as their official selection for the 65th Annual Academy Awards in 1993. It received one of the 5 nominations for Best Foreign Language Film, but it was later removed from the final voting ballot because it was an Argentine film and Uruguay had insufficient artistic control over its production. It was director Adolfo's Aristarain, who asked neighboring Uruguay to submit the film on his behalf, as it was partially financed in Uruguay. In response, Aristarain sued the Academy.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you don't hear stuff like this.
No, you don't hear all of that. They glamorize it and just polish it and make it look all nice and try to sweep everything else underneath the red carpet.
Nice. Number 7, Tuba Atlantic. This was in 2010.
Oh, wow.
Tuba Atlantic is a 25-minute Norwegian short film about a 70-year-old man who only has 6 days to live and spends the time
reconciling.
Yes, that one. With his estranged family. It was nominated for Best Live Action Short Film in 2012, but the nomination was later rescinded after it was discovered that the film aired on Norwegian television before its theatrical release, which goes against the Academy's rules.
Man, they have a lot of I thought Sundance, was bad as far as what you could actually do, but these guys, they take it next level.
Yeah. Alone Yet Not Alone, 2013. In 2014, the title song for the Christian film Alone Yet Not Alone was nominated for Best Original Song, then disqualified 2 weeks later. The Academy discovered that Bruce Broughton,
name.
Yeah. Bruce, that guy. The song's composer had an executive committee member of the Academy's music branch. Had emailed some of the other 239 members of the branch to make them aware of his submission during nominations voting period, which goes against Academy rules.
Like, hey, look over here.
People are supposed to learn about it organically?
Apparently?
We got nominated, but we can't tell you.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would just throw it up on Twitter or somewhere else. You know what I mean? And just let the web.
Or just check out this list of Academy Awards nominees.
Or maybe he was just hey, maybe they knew he was nominated, but he was hey, just making sure I was nominated. Wink, wink.
If you didn't hear,
Yeah. So, yeah. Like we said, the Academy Awards are tonight. I'm very excited because I thought I had to work, but I don't, so I can go and watch it. So
do you guys do? I mean, I know I've asked you this in years past. Do you guys already have specific Academy Award food, or do you make little? You got
in years past, yes.
Okay.
Have you been to one of our Oscar
we
parties?
Went to the one last year,
or 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
It'll be 2 years ago because last year was just me and my mom.
What a party.
Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Nana Tea party.
That was the one where you made the Oscars game.
Yes.
That was fun.
Yep. Yeah, and in years past, I've really gotten into it, and I, try to do games and have a lot of food.
Now Troy's just over there, massaging his mom's feet as he's watching. I'm just kidding. That's nice of you. Sometimes I'll even take my mom out to go see a movie, so I understand. I'm not bashing you here.
So yeah, like I said, it is kind of my Super Bowl. And so every year I always pick my nominees.
Which this year, it's crazy because, there's typically in years past, there's always been a standout film, that you're thinking is going to sweep. Or if you're not sure which one to pick, go with the safe bet.
Yeah.
Right? Choose C kind of a deal.
And this one?
No, not at all.
So, I don't know if you want to go through all of them.
No, just the major ones.
Major ones? All right.
Like picture, director, score.
All right. Let's start with original score. Yeah. For original score, I picked Phantom Thread.
Okay. You're going to have to give me the nominations here. Just say.
I don't have them with me.
Oh, really? Okay.
So, yeah, I don't know.
Let's
but the reason I picked Phantom Thread is because the music really didn't stand out in any other film. Even though Star Wars was nominated as well.
Come on, you can't go wrong with John Williams.
But that's just a rehashing of
an older nomination.
Yeah, of his old work. That's all it is.
True.
And besides the classic Star Wars theme and the other classic Star Wars songs, the other songs that were in there really weren't anything special.
It's kind of more background noise.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Unfortunately, that's what happens a lot of the times,
But Phantom Thread, on the other hand, that was pretty much the only thing that really stuck out to me in that movie was the music.
Okay.
So, let's then go to screenplays. So, for original screenplay, I picked Get Out.
Okay.
Because let's face it, it's the best.
It is. It was definitely something unique that they hadn't seen.
Yeah. And there's just little throwaway lines in there that you have to go back and rewatch it where you pick up on those.
When he's
wow.
that scene where he's talking in the gazebo about you think he's talking about his helpers that work around the house, but he's just like, I couldn't bear to part with them.
Yeah.
He's actually talking about his parents.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty gnarly.
And then adapted screenplay, I picked Call Me By Your Name. Because it's about homosexuality, and the Academy Awards loves that type of thing. It's about homosexuality, and it takes place in 1980s Italy. I mean, it has Academy Award written all over it.
Yeah, it's dripping with Academy Award.
Yeah, much like for animated feature,
Coco.
Coco.
You did. Yeah, you had to. Yeah. Oh, okay, the other ones, there was like Ferdinand, and there was a couple other, Baby, what's the Boss one?
Boss Baby.
Boss Baby? Yeah, okay. Like, they're gonna stand a chance against this Hispanic director that made this awesome movie.
You'd never bet against Pixar and Disney.
You don't.
When they're with their animated films.
Mm-hmm.
Best director, I picked Guillermo del Toro.
That would be my bet as well. There was a lot of them that were really good for like Dunkirk and some of the. I'm trying to pull them up now
because it seems like, I mean, with the other ones, they were pretty much just kind of directing what was on the script, and I'm sure they had a vision. But Del Toro, it was all him.
Oh yeah,
that was completely his vision. And to be able to like put it up on screen and that the imagination of Del Toro, you can't, there's no one better.
Yeah. Because he actually makes you care about these creatures,
Yeah.
These monsters that are supposedly evil, that they actually have heart.
Yeah. And then, for best supporting actress, I picked Allison Janney from I, Tonya.
See, I'm going to have to disagree with you here on that one. Okay, so the nominees are, you've got her, Laurie Melcraft from Lady Bird, Octavia Spencer, Shape of Water, Mary J. I'm thinking it's actually going to be for Lady Bird.
Really?
Yeah. I think that was like pretty fantastic.
Now, granted, I haven't seen Lady Bird, but I did see I, Tonya, and
that one it was really good.
That mom, Allison Janney as the mom, stands out in a film that has great performances.
That's true,
but she really stands out, and she crushes that role. I mean, every line is gold,
All right.
Supporting actor, I picked Sam Rockwell. Pretty much for the same reason I picked Allison Janney. Because he crushes it. I mean, he's just... It's so effortless what he does in his roles. You don't even feel like he's acting. I mean, it's just. So, but you did put up a poll on World War G2.
Yeah.
And right now, looks like Woody Harrelson is winning with 4 votes.
He was really dang good. That we were talking about this before the episode even started. Where, as the police officer, I loved how, like, without giving too much away, I loved how he he pays for the month in advance for her, as well as just that back and forth. Like, they have great chemistry. In that movie.
Yeah, just the scene where he was talking to her about the billboards, and he wants her to take him down. He says, "'Cause I have cancer." And she goes, "Yeah, I know."
It wouldn't have been as impactful if you were dead.
Yeah.
As it is now.
Vicious.
Yeah, she was cold.
Savage. And best director right now in our poll, Jordan Peele is winning with
really?
Get Out.
Yeah. Get Out. Get Out.
That's a dark horse nomination, no pun intended. But I don't know if he's gonna do it. Also, Coco is winning on our poll
That
for
would
best
be really
animated.
neat because that would be a first ever, though, wouldn't it? From a first-time director?
First-time director, yeah. I think so.
I don't know. There could be a couple of firsts in this one. You know, if you did have The Shape of Water.
Yeah. For best actress, let's see if I can. So in the poll, Meryl Streep is winning for The Post, which she's awesome, yes, but I don't think she's gonna win because she's been nominated 22 times and she's won twice.
Oh wow, okay. Yeah.
Once or twice. So I mean, she gets nominated a lot.
What's the actresses from Three Billboards?
What is her name? I always forget her name. Frances McDormand.
Yeah, that would be my pick.
Yeah.
She was fantastic in that movie. Like, except for the thing that like kind of bugged me about the movie is I couldn't stand how, or nobody cared or noticed that she had those fire extinguishers just in the back of her car.
Yeah.
Wait, where the heck did those come from?
My pick for best actress was Saoirse Ronan for Lady Bird.
Okay.
This is the one that Frances McDormand is kind of the favorite to win, but...
Well, okay, that was she's talking against, like, the pasture that comes to her house. That was a pretty iconic, awesome scene.
Yeah. Okay. So then for best actor...
Oh, you win it.
Nope, I went too far.
Here, dude.
I picked... Animated feature film, best director, supporting actor, best actor. Okay. So on the poll, Gary Oldman is winning with 4 votes.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And I also picked him because, man, as Winston Churchill, he completely disappears in that role.
Yeah.
Completely. And that's hard to do if you're 1, wearing a fat suit and 2, wearing old person makeup, which are 2 of the most difficult things to pull off.
And to actually make look decent, you know, because a lot of the times you end up looking kind of like Big Mama, you know?
Exactly.
Or some sort of Eddie Murphy character.
Medea.
Exactly. But they mastered it. They pulled it off. And then for best picture, I picked... what did I pick? 3 Billboards.
Okay.
And...
Well, that hit, like, not gonna lie, that hit all the different bases. It hit a lot of different topics and sensitive subjects, you know?
Yeah.
And they handled it really, really well.
Yeah. And in our poll, Get Out and Shape of Water and Dunkirk, actually, are all tied for 3 votes each.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. 2 votes for 3 Billboards. That was me and you.
Mm-hmm.
1 vote for The Post, and it looks like somebody threw in the Emoji Movie.
That's awesome. That was a big pile of poo emoji.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, really, I think unless there's some movie that comes out of nowhere, it's going to be. A lot of these awards are going to come down to 3 Billboards or Shape of Water.
Yeah.
If they're nominated in their category, one of them is going to win in each one. That's just my guess.
I'm thinking that they're going to actually, like, spread it around and share the wealth this year. It's going to be all over the place. I mean, sometimes you put, just because you need enough movies in a category,
yeah,
that you just kind of throw them in there. But I'm thinking it's going to be spread around.
We'll see. We'll see. Like I said, I can't really call it this year. I don't know. But I have seen, I think, every movie nominated for Best Picture. I've seen every single one.
Really?
Yeah. So I did make an informed opinion.
Do we want to do kind of like a up to the minute poll, like a Oscar?
I do. I do.
Like throwing it up on Facebook is what I mean.
I do it on Facebook.
Okay.
So if you follow me on Facebook, you'll be able to see that. But I mean, we can do it on or I could do it. I don't know if you guys are even going to watch it. I'll watch it. Then I can throw it up.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, unless you guys have anything else, a bit of a shorter episode.
Let's put a nice bow on this episode.
Let's do that.
Yeah.
So here's where you can find us. You can find all of our episodes at worldwarg.podbean.com, also at cosmicpotato.com. We're also on iTunes and the Google Play Store. Just search World War G. On the social media, you can find us at facebook.com/World War G podcast. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at WWG podcast. You can find all of our merchandise, all of our cups and bags and stickers and all that good stuff at shop.spreadshirt.com/World War G. You can also email us anytime.
Day or night.
At worldwgpodcast@gmail.com. Don't forget, you can also call or text the show at any time.
Except for during the Oscars.
That's right. Don't bother me. At 385-240-1692. And that's just going to keep getting longer and longer and longer the more we go on.
At some point, we're probably just going to have to record it and then plug it in.
Yeah, probably. So, this has been World War G, episode 167. That's been AJ.
That's been Troy.
And I've been Colton.
Stay geeky, my friends, and don't bother me. I'm watching the Oscars.
That's all, folks.